You know, some stories stay hidden for a lifetime, locked away like a painful secret. Well, today, we're going to open a trunk full of those memories and uncover an incredible tale. A story about two sisters in occupied France and the impossible choices they had to make just to survive.
Our story starts not with a big dramatic moment, but with a quiet whisper of regret. It's from an old woman, looking back at the end of her life. And this one line, it just sets the stage for everything. It's about a journey back in time, a final reckoning with a past that has both defined and haunted her. Okay, so picture this. A quiet house, somewhere on the Oregon coast. An old woman. She's frail, but you can see the determination in her eyes. And she's surrounded by boxes. She's getting ready to move. Up in the dusty attic, she finds what she's been looking for. This heavy, old steamer trunk. It's like a time capsule from a whole other world.
And when she lifts that heavy lid, she doesn't go for the things you'd expect, the baby shoes or old report cards. Her hands dig deeper, past faded journals and photos, until they find it, a single yellowed piece of paper. It's a French identity card from the war, and on it there's a photo of a young woman, Juliette Gervais. And that right there, that's the question that unlocks this entire story. The name brings tears to the old woman's eyes, and a past that she has deliberately kept buried for more than 50 years just comes rushing back. To understand her secret, we have to go on a journey, across an ocean and back in time. So here we are, France, 1939. The whole world is just holding its breath. And in a small village, two sisters are about to have their lives completely torn apart, not just by the war that's coming, but by how fundamentally different they are from each other.
And things change so fast. It's terrifying. Vianne's husband, Antoine, gets called to the front. The Maginot Line, which everyone thought was impenetrable, it just fails. And then the unthinkable happens. German soldiers are marching through the streets of Paris. The life they knew, it's just gone.
At the heart of it all are these two sisters, and they are total polar opposites. You've got Vianne, the older one. She's a rule follower, a school teacher, a mom. Her only goal is to keep her daughter safe, to get through this. But Isabelle, her younger sister, she's a fiery, impulsive rebel who just refuses to stand by and watch her country be conquered.
Oh yeah? Isabelle has absolutely no intention of being a bystander. She's read about women like Edith Cavell, the British nurse from World War I who was executed for helping Allied soldiers escape. So while everyone else sees only danger, Isabelle sees a chance to actually do something, to matter, to fight back in a world that keeps telling women their job is just to wait.
As the Nazi occupation really tightens its grip, you start to see these flickers of resistance in the shadows. But this wasn't a war fought just with guns and bombs. It was a shadow war. And courage, well, courage wore a lot of different and often unexpected disguises. And the sisters, they each find their own way to fight. Isabelle's path is all about open defiance. She joins the underground, she's handing out anti-Nazi pamphlets, and eventually she's guiding downed Allied airmen over the mountains to safety. Vianne's resistance, though, is much quieter, but it's no less dangerous. It starts with small acts of protection and just grows until she's hiding Jewish children from the Gestapo right under the nose of a German officer who's living in her house. So Isabelle becomes what they called a passeur. Now, this wasn't just some guide. A passeur was a lifeline. You risked immediate execution to lead people through some of the most hostile terrain in Europe, a freezing, brutal journey to get to freedom. I mean, the sheer audacity of this whole operation, they called it the Nightingale. It's just staggering. Isabelle takes this incredibly dangerous journey again and again. Every single step, from that first contact in a hostile city, to the nerve-wracking train ride with forged papers, to the deadly trek across the mountains, every single part of it was a gamble with her life.
And at the same time, Vienna's quiet war is saving lives, one child at a time. After her best friend Rachel is taken away, Vianne makes a promise. She starts taking in Jewish children whose parents have been deported, and with the help of a local mother superior, she hides them. 19 kids, 19 children who otherwise would have been sent to the camps.
But in this world, no act of courage goes unpunished. The war demanded a terrible price from everyone, and for the people who chose to fight back, that cost was almost unbearable. This was just the reality of their lives. Constant hunger, that gnawing fear every time there's a knock on the door, watching your friends and your neighbors just disappear. They were forced to make choices that would haunt them forever, facing torture, prison, and the constant threat of losing every single person they loved. And eventually, Isabel's luck runs out. She's captured. She's brutally tortured by the Gestapo. They're desperate to find out who the mysterious Nightingale is, never even suspecting that the hero they're hunting is the young woman right in front of them. She endures unspeakable pain, but she never gives them a name. Van, she's pushed to her breaking point too. To protect her sister and the secret she's keeping, she's forced to kill a German officer. And this act, even though it was necessary for survival, it leaves this deep, permanent scar on her soul. It's a burden she carries in total silence. So their paths diverge into these separate hells. Isabel, broken but not beaten, is deported to Ravensbrück, a notorious concentration camp for women. And Vian is left behind, this solitary guardian in her occupied village, just fighting to keep the hidden children alive, while also shielding this dark truth of what she had to do to survive. And that brings us back, all the way back to that attic in Oregon. 50 years have gone by. The war is a distant memory for most of the world, but for this one woman, it is as real and as present as the identity card that's shaking in her hands.
So what is it that forces this all to come out? An invitation. A ceremony is being held in Paris to honor the heroes of the resistance, and they're looking for the Nightingale. This single piece of mail makes hiding from the past completely impossible. The story, it finally has to be told. When her son asks her why she never, ever spoke about the war, this is her answer. Her story, like the stories of so many women, was lived in the shadows. Their heroism wasn't celebrated with medals or parades. When the war was finally over, their job was simply to pick up the pieces and rebuild their lives. In silence. And here it is, the secret she kept for a lifetime. The old woman telling our story is Vienne. That identity card, Juliette Gervais, it was her sister's alias. Isabel was the Nightingale, and even though she survived the horrors of Ravensbrück, she was too broken by illness. She died shortly after coming home, leaving Vienne to raise her own child and to carry her sister's story all alone. In the end, this is the truth she holds on to. After all the loss, all the pain, and all the silence, this is what endures. The wounds of the past, they might leave scars, but the love for the people she lost, that remains. And she remains, a testament to their sacrifice and to her own incredible, quiet strength. The Nightingale's story was almost lost to time, just a secret kept in a dusty old trunk. It really leaves you with a powerful question, doesn't it? How many other stories of courage, just like this, are still out there, hidden in the shadows, just waiting for someone to finally lift the lid?